Do you remember that J-Mar guy you had a crush on in high school?
Yeah.
What would you do if he asked you out right now? Welcome to the Point of View podcast. My name's Yosa.
And my name's Osada Haman.
And here we are today for another episode.
Yep, we're super excited to be here once again.
Yep, so let's jump right into these juicy questions.
Yes, so today we decided that we are going to be interviewing each other. Kind of like maybe a bit of an introduction, but also just like, I'm curious about your answers, Yosa.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm scared now. All right, well, I have the first question, so I guess I'll start. What was your most irrational fear growing up?
So interestingly enough, I had 3 irrational fears. And they were like...
It's like a specific number.
No, it was very weird and like... Well, I'll get into the story. My first fear was my fear of trains.
Oh, I remember that.
And I was scared of trains, and the reason was... Like, I still vividly remember this. We were on our way to Nigeria with our mom. And we were at the Atlanta airport. And I get into the, like, you know, the one of those, like, air trains or whatever in the Atlanta airport. I get into one of the trains that's going to connect us to, like, where our terminal was. And I didn't get out in time. And like you, because you were a baby. And so our brother who's in between us, mom, all got off the train. And I'm stuck in the train by myself. And I'm just like here scared all by myself. And then finally the train comes back and mom like gets me and it's like it's all good and everything. But I was so afraid. And
Really?
so ever since then, or not anymore, all these fears I've mostly gotten over. I'm not afraid of trains anymore. Like I'm good with trains. Some of the other ones I'm like, eh.
All right, well let's hear the other ones.
No, the train one was crazy. Like it was.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to you. Like these are irrational. They don't.
Yeah,
make sense.
It's not rational. I guess
It doesn't make any sense. But that was like throughout like growing up, I was pretty afraid of trains. But that was the least feared one. I would say my second most. The second and third are kind of like I would say they're equal in how much I feared them. But I don't fear this anymore. And I was afraid of elevators.
What?
Yeah. I was afraid of elevators.
Oh, wait. I feel like I remember. Weren't you afraid of like getting stuck in them?
Yeah. Because what had happened was that one day our dad was telling us a story. He had just come back from, honestly, the central theme of this is Nigeria.
It's like all the fears come from that.
Just from that. But he had told us that he had just moved to America from Nigeria and he was in school and he was in an elevator and the elevator literally stopped working and he was just like stuck on it for like 30 minutes. And I remember as like a 8-year-old kid, I can't remember how old I was, but I remember being so afraid that, oh my gosh, I'm going to get stuck in an elevator too.
Okay, but to be fair, actually, getting stuck in an elevator is like probably top 10 worst things that can happen to
Yeah, it's
someone.
scary. And so do you remember this? I never wanted to get in an elevator.
Yeah, I remember.
We went to a hotel and I was like, no, I'll take the stairs. And my mom had to force me into the elevator.
I remember like we would like jump on the elevator to scare you.
Yeah, no, you would like jump. But now I'm good. I prefer to take elevators. I'm like, the stairs are too much work.
The elevator, like if you do get stuck in an elevator, it is a whole thing, especially like between floors. Because you're actually like stuck and like especially if you're like alone, like that's why taking elevators alone, it's like you got no food, no water, maybe.
I'm good. That was kid me. I'm like bring an elevator.
She's like I'm over and done with it.
Now my last irrational fear, this one I would say I'm not afraid, but I'm still hesitant, and it's trucks. And I'm not talking about like the truck that you
An F-150.
No, not that one. I'm talking about those large semis that are on the highway.
I thought it was semi truck, or is it semi?
I've always said semi.
Is that how you say it?
I'm almost positive it's semi.
I'm pretty sure it's semi truck.
Let's see if Siri will help us. Is it semi truck or semi truck? Bro, this thing's useless.
Semi. Wait, how does it like dash?
How do you pronounce semi-truck? I guess it is for. See, but there's a question: is it semi or semi?
That's Kiora or whatever it's
Well,
called.
it's not.
Here, let me ask my Siri. Hey Siri, is the word semi-truck pronounced semi or semi-truck? Why isn't it speaking?
Bro,
Whatever.
what is wrong with Siri?
I think I don't know. My phone sucks. So
Whatever. Who uses this is I think the first time I used Siri in like
a year.
A year, literally. But anyway, like the semi trucks, that's how I pronounce it. The semi trucks on the highway, like I had this irrational fear, and maybe not so irrational, that they were going to crush me.
It's
like,
low-key valid though.
I was I'm not even the one driving. I'm like 6-year-old me, and I'm like afraid, like crouching down. Oh my gosh, the truck is going to like smush me.
Okay, but when you're driving and the truck gets a little too close to your lane, you're like, they could just crush me, right? Like,
yeah.
One like swerves to the right, you're done, and so is your car.
So that is why I say I'm not afraid anymore, but more hesitant, because I'll be going like pretty fast on the highway. I'm not going to say how fast, but it doesn't, if I see a truck and if there's like, if I'm between two trucks, it doesn't matter how fast I need to go. I'm not going to self-incriminate myself, but you best believe I will not be in between trucks at all. I am gas on the pedal, zooming past, no interaction with the truck.
No, I'm not taking any changes. I'm whipping right past that truck.
So yeah, those were my 3 irrational fears. Okay. Pretty, I don't know. I'm not afraid of them anymore. I've grown up. Anymore. Okay, Yosa, my question for you is, what's your most embarrassing childhood memory?
This one is so stupid. Okay, so I think I was in first or second grade. And so like for some reason, like the school that we lived in, it was like you had to like be tested for like asthma and all this stuff, which I'm assuming is like normal for most schools, because like they test you for like dyslexia if teachers think you have it, or asthma or whatever.
Really? I don't remember this. Testing for asthma?
Yeah, something like that. Like it was something along those lines. I can't remember. And so like for whatever reason, like somehow like there was these 2 girls that were actually like asthmatic. Is that what it's called? I think
so.
Like, yeah, there was these 2 girls that was like actually had asthma. And so the teacher goes like, okay, like I didn't like, she kind of worded it like, okay, like if you need to be like, if you think you like have asthma or something, stand up. And so I don't know why, but I just like raised my hand and stood up, and I was like, okay, like I don't know, because like I thought like having trouble breathing when you were running meant that you had asthma. And so me and these like 2 other girls, we go to the nurse's office, and they like get their inhalers out, and I'm like, where's my inhaler? And then the lady's like, do you have asthma? And I'm like, I don't know. And then she's like, I don't think you do. And she's like, they actually test me, I think, like I guess with the breathing exercise, although I don't really know how you test asthma.
Well, you it's like I believe it's, have you ever seen that thing where it's like you blow into it and it's like a little like ball or something? It has
like how far it goes,
and so I think that's how you test.
I don't think she used that. I don't know what I did.
I don't know if I trust the school nurse's diagnosis.
Yeah, I actually got tested. We did a test for scoliosis in middle school, and the test was literally the nurse feeling your back. Okay, you don't have scoliosis, and she told that to my friend that has scoliosis.
Well, okay, actually for that though, I can understand why, because the test, like as a nurse, you're still trained to do those kind of things. But like there's 2 types of scoliosis. Like there's, I think, functional and then like structural. So like so your friend may have the one that you can't actually feel it, but it's still there. So there's 2 different types of scoliosis.
That is true, but I just thought that was a really embarrassing story from like first grade. I was like 6 years old, and I was like, the teacher was like, and I wasn't a new student. I don't know why I thought like,
she just thought that she had asthma. You know those kids that like, there was this girl I knew that like, well, this is allegedly, everyone allegedly thought that she wore a cast and brought crutches to school for attention. Because like she had this crush on this boy, and like the boy's name was Brady. She was so in love with him, and so everyone was like, oh, she because like she had broken her leg before, but then she broke the leg again, and people were like, "How did she break her leg again?"
Hey,
and
it's
so
very
people,
possible.
I mean, thinking about this now, I'm like, would she like? Does that make sense that she was faking it? Like,
Why would your parents even?
yeah,
let you
how would
come
your
to
parents let?
school?
But in our mind, we're like, oh, her parents are along with it. Like her parents are okay with it. Like it was this whole thing.
The conspiracy theories in elementary
yes.
school. Okay. All right, moving on. So my next question for you: what's something you'll never tell mom, but you'll tell the podcast?
Well, thankfully our mom's pretty busy nowadays, so I don't think she necessarily has
This
time.
is gonna be the one episode she watches.
Yeah, she watches this episode. It'd be funny if like the person that this is about like saw this.
Okay.
But I doubt it. Anyway, so when we lived in Pittsburgh, we had this next door neighbor, and like she used to come over to our house, and like we would go over to her house, and she was my age, so like we were friends. Mm-hmm. And one day I like drew on our wall in our living room, and I don't know what I drew. I just drew random stuff. And I think I drew in pen, so you couldn't like really, or I drew on something. Like I drew permanent something, and it wouldn't come off. Like for some reason it was still like there. Like when we moved, we had to paint it over. But my mom or dad, one of them, had asked me, "Hey, who drew on the wall?" And I was so afraid of getting in trouble. So I told them it was our next door neighbor. Her name was Michaela. And I said it was Michaela who drew on the wall. And so my mom brought over Michaela and her mom to our house and was like, "Your daughter drew on our wall." And Michaela was like, "No, I didn't." And so like the mom's there, she's looking there, and I'm just here like I just told this straight up lie that she drew on the wall of someone else's house too. Like, so
what? You were horrible. What?
I've never done that again in my life, but I felt so guilty for so many years. I was like, I wanted to say it. Like I wanted.
Wait, what even happened? Did the moms like fight? Like what?
Well, I think they were just upset because like the mom was like, my daughter is saying like she didn't do it, but then your daughter is saying she did. So like, what's going on? Like I don't remember exactly what happened, but I do know that we weren't really friends after that. Like we stopped hanging out and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
crazy. Wow.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Michaela.
This poor girl that
I know. It was pretty bad. I still sometimes think about that.
I'm shocked. I'm baffled. Like
because I'm not that kind of person, right?
Yeah, I mean, also you were like what in elementary school?
I think so.
Yeah, like I mean, I wouldn't. I don't even like know. How did Mom even believe that someone else came to your guys' house and drew on the wall and like wouldn't tell her?
Because the thing is, I rarely lie. That's the thing. And so she's like, my daughter who barely lies is telling me that our neighbor did this. Like, I believe her. And so I was like, I was this goody two-shoe kid.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, I don't want Mom to not believe me anymore. She always talks about the story of the kid that, like, the police came over and, like,
the mom believed
her son over the police.
The boy who cried wolf.
And, like, she was like, that's why you shouldn't tell lies, because if someone comes and accuses you of something that I want to...
Always
she said that,
story.
like, all the time growing up. So, like, I don't want to be the kid that she doesn't believe anymore.
You don't want to be the boy who cried wolf who lies, and then the one time you tell the truth, no one believes you.
So I was deathly scared of that. And so I was like, she did it.
Oh, gosh, that poor girl.
I know. I mean, nowadays, it's like, it's so many years ago, I don't really feel bad.
Like,
but I felt so bad in the moment.
She probably doesn't even remember it.
She probably doesn't, or maybe she does, and like...
She has this vendetta against... She's like, I remember.
Oh my gosh. Okay. My next question for you is, what would be your villain origin story, Yosa?
Okay. This one's kind of dumb, but I'm going to share it anyway. So, like, I'm in high school, right? And so, there's teachers you like and there's teachers you don't, right? And so at least in our school, the policy is to get like like a rounded, you can get like a grade letter based off of like rounded like numbers. So like an 89.5 and above is a 90, 79.5 is an 80, 69.5 is a 70. So like, or like 84.53 is an 85. So like numbers can round up, right? And so tell me why, like, this one time I asked this teacher to round my grade, right? It was like, I think I would have, like, all 4 quarters would have averaged out to an A anyway. But, like, I specifically needed that quarter. Like, it was, like, half of a point. It was, like, 89.4 or an 89.3. So all they needed to do was add 1 point to one of my grades, like, out of, like, the 6 or 7 grades I had in the grade book. And the teacher, like, I'm, like, sitting there, I'm, like, asking them during, like lunch or tutorials, and the teacher sits there, and they're like, well, if I made exceptions for you, it's a whole can of worms, and I can't make it. I can't make exception for you. I'm like, literally, this is probably, like, freshman or sophomore year. I'm like, literally, this is, like, a random class nobody cares about. I just want my GPA.
What course was this?
I think it was a history, or maybe it was an English class. I don't remember.
That's
I think
stupid.
the teacher's gone now, but, like,
as she should be.
Hey, I didn't say it was a she or he. Let's not assume now.
I'm pretty sure you said she.
No, I said they. Listen to the pronouns.
Oh my gosh.
And so, like, they were like, oh, it opens up a whole can of worms. Like, I can't make exceptions for students. And they were also the teacher that was like, no extra credit. Like the first day of school, they're like, oh, I don't do extra credit. And I'm like, well, see, when you come back in like 10 years and you're trying to do like a school reunion, don't be surprised if I absolutely hate you. And then this is the reason why your classroom is empty during tutorials, because nobody likes you, because you're rude and you're annoying and you're like not a good person. Like, and like, those teachers think they're funny and like nobody laughs at their jokes.
Or like, like those teachers annoy me because like, the real reason they don't want to do extra credit is because they're lazy.
Yeah, they just don't want to grade an extra thing.
Like, what do you mean you don't want to try and help people? Like, the reason the extra credit exists is to help people that are on the borderline, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, you don't want to do that for your students that are good
like I'm
students.
Failing the class. I'm like, an eighth of a point away from an A.
I hate those teachers.
Like, and I'm like, that would be my villain origin story. I'd be like, well, I remember the teacher I had in sophomore year. The reason I didn't get into Yale because I didn't have straight
all those
A's.
Superhero shows, you suddenly get powers and everything, and like
I'm coming after that teacher.
You see the teacher, and they're like I don't know,
they
building
need help
fell
or
over,
something.
Yeah, and you're like
help me. I'm
help
like,
me. You should have bumped my grade up.
You should have given that A. Looks like too bad for you. And then you like fly away. And then they survive or something, and you're like, shoot.
And then that's their villain origin story.
Yeah, it's all a full circle. It comes right back to you.
Oh my god.
It's dumb, but that really does make me mad when people just don't do small things for you. Like when you just have a tiny favor and you're like, oh, I know it might be a minor inconvenience, and they're like, well, I don't really do that for people. No, shut up. Like, this is why you have one friend, and they don't even like you. Like, sorry. Okay.
I love it.
All right.
I think I'm next.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
No, you just asked me my villain origin story.
Fine, whatever.
What do you mean, fine? That's the order.
Ahead. She wants to go so bad, I'll let her go.
That's the order. Whoa. Okay, you're the one that made this. Okay, for your next question, what's something people misunderstand about you? We're getting a little serious here.
Something people misunderstand about me.
Wait, no, that's your question for me.
Yeah, so. I was like, this is not a question I thought of.
When do you feel most like yourself? Still a deep question.
I feel most like myself.
If you say at home, bro, I'm with my family.
That was what I was going to say.
How did I know?
She's making fun of me. I was going to say two things, though. I was going to say with my family and when I'm reading books.
Okay, but how do you feel like yourself with a book, though? You're not interacting with it?
But I still, I feel like I guess there's two ways of feeling like yourself. Like there's like when you're interacting with people and like, oh, like when I'm with my family, like, oh, I'm like, you know, my funny natural self, you know, I'm goofy me.
Yeah. Goofy. Wait, what's the
that's literally what came to my mind was that stupid.
Have you heard the Hosier's yells? But there's the
God.
goofy yell. What's the goofy one?
Do you not? Don't do it. Okay, go ahead and do it.
Oh, the goofy one's better, bro.
It's again goofy. Like it sounds so stupid.
It's so dumb.
But like, you know, that's like when you're with your family or with your really close friends, you're exactly who you are. So you're interacting with people. But when I'm reading my books, the reason I feel like I'm most myself is because I'm like in a sense of like contentment. I'm in a sense of peace and like happiness, joy, like all the good emotions, right? Like there's nothing else I'm thinking about but what I'm reading. And so I feel like the most calm that I ever will feel because of what I'm reading. I mean, yeah, obviously if you're reading like some murder mystery and it's like, oh my gosh, my heart. But like, you know, if you're reading something like, you know, like you love this character or like, I guess I want to say when I'm rereading my favorite books, I think I want to be more specific. When I'm rereading my favorite books, that is when I feel most like myself because I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this character.
You already know like everything.
I already know what's going to happen. And it's just like, it's like reminiscing. Like that's what.
Reminiscent?
Well, I'm reminiscing of reading the book. And so, like, for me, when I feel most like myself is when I'm with my family. She is my family. Do they know that we're sisters?
Yeah, I hope. I mean,
you never know.
We look similar.
No, we don't.
Similar. I didn't say we look the same.
I hate when people say we look similar because we don't.
Okay, but every sibling thinks that.
No, but there's some siblings that like genuinely don't look alike and there's some that do.
No, but like there'll be siblings that look alike and you will like swear on everything that they do and they'll be like, I look nothing like my sibling.
I genuinely don't. Like you can erase my memory and I don't think we would look the same.
Well, it's like you don't think that because we're so accustomed to each other's features, but if someone sees both of us for the first time, they would probably be able to tell we're siblings because it's like they've never seen us like apart. You see two people together that look similar, you're gonna assume they're siblings.
Oh well.
I don't know. That's my belief.
That's your belief. But yeah, no. When I'm with my family and when I'm rereading my favorite books, that's when I feel, you know, most like myself.
Okay. All right. I'll accept it.
You'll accept it. It's not whether you accept it or not. That's the answer.
All right.
Okay, she's being so like, what's the word? I was gonna say catty, but that's like too negative.
What is the ew? I don't like that word.
It's a word. It's in the English dictionary.
Yeah, maybe we should erase it.
Dramatic. That's another word. She's being so dramatic today.
Okay. What? Shoot.
Oh yeah, it's my question. This is the question that you were trying to ask me. Oh my gosh. I was like, what is she saying?
You're like, I didn't prepare
I didn't prepare. Or not that we prepared an answer, but like we had an idea of what we were going to say for all of these. What's something people misunderstand about you?
This one's a little bit of like, there can be multiple things because I feel like a lot of people like, no one ever really truly knows someone. You know yourself best. That's what I always like to say.
Our mom likes to say she knows. Our mom and dad likes to say they know us the best.
Your parents know you best. Like, all right, if you believe that. But I think one thing people misunderstand about me is they misunderstand my silence for confusion. Like, I'm someone that's like, it depends on the situation. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty talkative person depending on the situation. Like, if I'm with people, again, that I'm comfortable with, I can be super talkative, I can be super loud, or there's times I can be reserved in those situations. But, like, there have been some classes where, like, I don't have any, like, friends in that class. I don't know anyone very well, so I'm literally, like, silent. Like, I don't talk to anyone. If the teacher calls on me, I answer a question. Like, that's about it. And so I think a lot of people, like, don't know that like sometimes I'm quiet because I'm trying to observe what people are doing and saying, and that's how I pick up on like these like cues and these different like personalities of people, because like I feel like Like, the problem with being like the loudest person in the room is it's like you're shouting a lot, but you're not like hearing a lot. Like, what's that saying? Like, the volume of like your voice is raising, but like your argument is like lowering or something. Like, your argument isn't getting any better when you like shout more, right? And so, like, I'm just sitting there and I like see things unravel, like whether it's in class or whatever, and you get to see people's personalities. And that's like, I'm kind of like a people watcher where I like to like sit and wait and watch. And like people don't even realize, like, I don't know if it's like I can read body language, but it's like I can tell like when people are uncomfortable or people feel a certain way, because I like sometimes I just sit back and I'm like, oh, okay, let me be reserved. And I hear things. You start to realize that you hear things that people don't want you to hear, but like you hear it anyway because like people don't think you're listening.
Interesting.
So yeah, every once in a while, maybe just sit quietly in a corner and you'll be shocked some of the things you'll hear.
It's funny that you say that, because like I feel like as a kid though, you were more shy. Like I feel like you've definitely grown into yourself.
Yeah, I would say it depends. Like, I feel like there's certain situations where I am shy, but I feel like part of growing up is you have to force yourself. Like, I can't go to an event and not like talk to anyone, right? So like I'm like not forcing myself, but you have to grow up, right? Like you can't just be like the shy.
Because you're kid. Like an introvert, right?
Yeah, but it's like I almost have to go out of my comfort zone to be able to like meet new people, talk to new people. Yeah. Like, it's not natural for me.
But you're still able to do it. Like, there's some introverts that, like, low-key, I'm like, okay, let's go.
Like, they can't hold a conversation.
No, but you, like, you would see Yosa with people, and you wouldn't even think she's an introvert. But she literally is.
Yeah, I am. I'm like, what's that word? Ambivert.
Yeah, something like that. I don't
There's
even
a word for everything now.
Exactly. There's a day for everything.
There's a theory for every person. The Zendaya hat theory.
What? Yeah, let's not even get into that. I
don't know what it is.
Our sister was trying to describe it to us yesterday. I was like, that just sounds like a load of nonsense.
I don't get it. It didn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense. Funny enough, when you were talking about being like, misunderstood for being quiet and everything in class, what came to my mind was a lot of my teachers used to say I was so soft-spoken.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I don't know why, but like, I guess in class, like, I'm quieter. Like, yeah. When I raise my hand, like, it's not unnatural, but it's just like my voice comes out softer for some reason.
You're like a little more reserved.
Yes. I am.
Because it's like not that you can't be yourself in school, but it's like you said, you feel most comfortable when you're at home with your family, with the people you know. Yes. And school is like sometimes people you don't know or teachers
My teacher was like, you're so soft-spoken. It's so cute. And I'm like, in my head, when she said that, I was like, I've never described myself as soft-spoken. I think after that, I like very much tried to not be soft-spoken in class.
Like,
I was
when someone tells you something, you're like, no, I'll be the opposite.
Exactly. Okay, I think you're up next.
No, I just asked that question.
No, I asked.
What's
something people misunderstand about you?
What's one lie you believed growing up?
I feel like these are like so like general. Like I feel like everyone believed these. Like, oh, if you turn on the light, like in the car,
you'll get into an accident.
You'll get into it. That's what our parents say. You'll get into an accident, or we
like
can't
they won't be able to see.
Like, but like no, like you could see perfectly fine. But I've also heard, I don't think our parents said this, but the police would like pull you over if your light is on in the car. Like no, they won't. Like,
what? Actually, they might have said that once or twice, but it might have been something like along those lines.
Yeah, I think so. But the one, and I feel like this is for most like American children. The one thing our parents told us growing up that I believed so wholeheartedly, like it was crazy how much I believed in it, was Santa Claus. Like, of course. Very, very typical. Like my belief in him was, it's like, it needs to be studied. Like, honestly, I think we need to study the Santa Claus effect, if that's even a thing.
Like came up with this like jolly old Christmas man that would bring gifts and watch.
Well, I mean, it's like a folklore kind of thing, I think, from Europe or something like that.
Yeah, but like,
Saint Nicholas, that's who it is. Like, from Saint Nick. And so like people like kind of, I don't know how it all transformed and everything, but I like very much believed in him. And it was so funny because we were in elementary school, and I'll never forget this. Basically, it was one Christmas morning, and I think we got tablets. I think that's the Christmas we all got tablets.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting this tablet, and my brother and you and our other sister, our youngest sister wasn't born then. And I remember saying out loud, I was like, wow, Santa Claus has to be real. Our parents would never get this for us.
I feel like I've seen an Instagram reel of a kid saying that or something.
I literally said that. And like, I asked my parents like a few months ago, I was like, so when we used to say stuff like that, what would you do? And they were like, we just laughed because it's so funny. And like, I don't know.
Making fun of us.
No, we were roasting our parents without even knowing we were roasting them.
Like, mom and dad can't afford this.
No, they can't buy this. Like, I genuinely believed in him. It was crazy. And I remember when I started to question it. I was late, actually. I was like in 6th grade, and I still kind of believed in him. But I very much was like, like some kids had said some things, like they never outrightly said, oh, he doesn't exist. But like some of the things that they had said, I was like, that's a little weird. Like, why are you talking like this? And I remember I like went on Google and I searched it up, is Santa Claus real? And like, funnily enough, like I didn't find a straight answer. It was like some like,
I think they'd show, like, people don't want to be like, Santa Claus isn't, like, there's not some Grinch on the internet being like, Santa Claus isn't real and you shouldn't believe in him.
No, for real. And so I think there was one of those like forums, like I don't know if it was like a Yahoo forum or something like this. I don't even know. And it was like, is Santa Claus real? And it was like people going back and forth. I'm like, what are these adults? Now I'm thinking, I'm like, why are these adults arguing in this forum
why
about
are you
Santa?
an adult that's like beefing on Yahoo?
But I don't think it was it was other adults they were beefing with, because it wouldn't be a kid, right?
I hope not.
So yeah, I just like, I thought Santa was real, and it was a slow progress to learn that he wasn't. And I remember I confronted my mom one day. I was like, is he real? And I was like, is she gonna lie? And she's like, well, it's the magic. You have to believe. And I was like, and thinking back, I'm like, that's a pretty good answer.
Can you
it's a
hear
good
the
answer,
bell?
because she's not lying, right? She didn't say no, he's not, but she didn't say yes, he is.
You have to believe in the Christmas magic.
Yes.
Oh man, I'm ready for Christmas.
I am, but when I have my own kids, I'm gonna make like Santa Claus like so like magical, because he was so magical.
Yeah.
Like I feel for all the children that didn't have that magic growing up, because like it didn't mean I disrespected my parents any less. Like we still got gifts from our parents.
Yeah.
But you just had this magic of, oh, if I'm a good kid, if I do this, like the Christmas magic and the spirit of it was just, for me as a kid, was so beautiful and so, I don't know, I just loved it. So that is a lie that my parents did tell me, but I 100% would never take that lie away.
Oh yeah, I believed it too. My brother's actually the one that told me Santa Claus isn't real.
That is
shocker, the older brother that like, he's like, well, Santa Claus isn't real, He's like, mom and dad just buy the gifts and they hide in the closet.
Did he really say it like that?
I don't know. He said something like along those lines. I know for a fact he was the one that told me Santa wasn't real.
That's terrible. Actually, I feel like I got mad at him for that. Like,
I think you did, yeah.
I think I'm vaguely remembering like he said something and I got really upset with him. I'm like, why did you tell her that? Like, you shouldn't have done that.
I probably thought he was cool. Like, he's like,
oh, he didn't do that.
I'm the 8-year-old that like knows.
Yeah,
Santa.
He didn't do that again with any of our other siblings, because I think I got mad enough at him that he was like, okay, I won't do this anymore.
He won't ruin the Christmas magic.
Should
we do our last most likely twos?
No, wait, you asked me that question. I have one last question for you.
Oh, you have one more question for me.
Yeah.
We are out of order. we are not locked in today.
Yeah, we ordered this wrong, but it's fine. What's something you admire about me but never have said?
Oh, that's why you wanted to do the question.
Yep, I want to hear you, Yosa.
Well, there's so many options. I think something I admire about you. What's the question that I'll never say? I think that you're very like determined in what you want to do. Like, you're not someone that's like wishy-washy of like, I don't know what I want in life. I don't know this. I don't know that. And I think that's an example that like you and our older brother have set that like none of us have ever, not that there's anything wrong with it, but none of us have ever been like, oh, well, we don't know what we want to major in college. We don't know what we want to do. Like, sure, we've like changed like the profession or like whatever, but it's never been like, oh, I'm undecided, like walking into like college. And so I think something about you is you've always been determined and you've always known what you wanted to do. And like, for better or for worse, or whatever mom will say, you've got your life pretty under control. I would say for someone that, medical school, undergrad, a lot of things going on. So I think one thing I admire about you is that you always know what you want and you're always going to go and put 100% into getting that. Despite what other people may say, I think that you do. So.
Aw, thanks, Yosa.
See, she just wanted to hear me say that. That's all you're getting from me.
No, thank you for saying that. I think that's something we definitely get from our parents too. And like, just as the oldest, I feel like I'm glad that I've been able to show that. And it means that like, oh, I really am learning from our parents because like, and like you said, there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you want to do. I mean, that's not everyone was raised the same way as we are. But like, I'm very glad that in our family, we know what we want. We know what we want and we get what we want. It's go, go, go. And so, yeah, I'm glad for the way we've been raised. And
it's been a good life. Good
Bro,
childhood.
we're not dying.
I don't know.
This is not our last episode.
Goodbye forever. We'll see you in the next life.
Oh my gosh. But I think that's all the questions we have for each other, right?
Yeah, that's all we kind of have for today. We hope you guys liked our little one-on-one interview. Some of the questions were more serious and some of them were more silly, but hopefully you guys learned something or at least had a good laugh. And just make sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all platforms, and make sure to give us a 5-star review on wherever you're listening to this. And I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.